a rider, dedicated to my grind. You can tell I'm getting mine by the emblems on the cars when I slide.
You're a 15-year-old boy, your mother dies at 15 years old. And 36-year-old father, man, husband, your 15-year-old younger brother gets hit with a soccer ball in a regular soccer match. He collapses in the middle of the game, goes to the hospital, dies at 15 years old. Younger brother. Then 6 months later, your father dies from brain cancer.
Welcome everybody, episode 3, Building the Dream here in good old Uptown Whittier. We talk about on our podcast, we have our special guest, actually our first guest. And our special guest. And to be honest, we weren't going to do any guests from episodes 1 through 5, right? We were just going to sit here and talk shit. And kind of.
And before special guest, he's also a friend.
Yeah.
He's also a good friend.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you'll run across most of the people that we bring in here will be our,
good
friends. Yeah, absolutely. But, our show, Building the Dream, is important. We love hearing people's testimonials. We say that all the time, Christian, right? So, that's what helps. I know, speaking for myself, it motivates me, like hearing people's dreams every day when I'm sitting with businesses, right?
Right, exactly.
Like, man, they motivates me. And I have probably George speaking for himself here with Christian before we even get into it, but I have this like natural energy connection that even if I don't see this dude, like I feel like I talk to you sometimes, It's weird. It's weird. Like I'm like I'm talking to you, but without talking to you. But anyways, Cristian Orellana here with PHP, People Helping People, good friend. And now business partner with all of us as we build our dream here. And I don't know if you have anything to say here. I know you're excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm going to text him. We're ready to go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
One of the reasons that, Christian and I developed a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And on the personal side, and so I got a chance to know him, and I was like, I love his story, man. Mm-hmm. I truly, truly, not only love, respect, and that was one of the reasons why I pushed, and I said, Chris,
let's get him.
Let's get Christian, because I believe, and I know Chris believes, your story is very special.
Thank you.
So we want our listeners. We don't have a big base yet, but the people that do follow us, we want them to hear your story.
Yeah, it's very important.
The good, the bad, the ugly,
the journey.
And that's what this podcast is about: is people building the dream.
Yeah,
that's
your
awesome.
journey.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Pleasure being here with you guys. And, I feel special that I'm the first guest.
Guys,
right? But Building the Dream, I was watching some of the videos you guys send me. Amazing what you guys talk about, because it's 100% legit. It comes from, from your heart, everything that you guys talk about here. So I love it. I'm honored to be here.
Yes.
And, Chris and I will go back 2018, I think the first time we met.
I don't even remember anymore.
And then we just met, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you are coming into a room and then you can be yourself, that says a lot. Says a lot. So I can feel that I can be myself.
Yeah.
And I don't have to fake anything, right? I don't have to fake anything.
Not at all.
And I can be me. And then I think that's how I connect with people too, right? So just by heart and just being me.
I think that's true. I think it's true. Like we're all ourselves. And I think that's the connection that I feel with Christian, his wife, his team. Without knowing his team, you if you know what he's about, you know what his team's about. Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
Exactly.
So having said that, we're gonna say we have a whole bunch of questions for you, and and I want people. I think it's important. For me, it's important to hear, where were you born? How many kids? Like, I want to hear all that. I start thinking of my grandfather who lived to 100. He used to always tell me, "Güero," and he would tell you stories, right? And so, like, I want to hear your story. Like, tell us, like, where were you born? Everything but your social security number, okay?
I said because Chris says "Güero" really good in Spanish.
Right.
I thought he was white.
Mi corazón.
Where do you get foster from?
I know. We'll get into my story later.
Yeah,
tell us. So talk to us. Where you from? Where you born? Your parents? Like, talk to us.
Yes. Well, I was born and raised in Honduras, Central America. We waited 11 years for our documents. So one of my aunts asked for my mom, submitted the documents and everything. So we waited
from
11
Honduras.
years from Honduras. So all their sisters were here in California. And then so my aunt asked for my mom to bring her into the United States. So at that time, my mom was single. And then, later on in life, she got married. We were born, my brothers and I. We're 4 brothers, all boys. And then the time came, I believe, at the right moment. And then something that I will put out there is I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. I'm fair for God and everything. So I grew up like that. Knowing God, it was around us and all stuff. So I didn't have to go to church every Sunday to feel that connection, right? Yeah. So you build that at home. So that's something my dad and my mom kind of did for us. So we waited 11 years, like I said. The time came perfectly. Why I say that is because back in 2000, my mom gets diagnosed with breast cancer. So
twice it's happened.
So if I can talk shit, I'm gonna talk shit to Chris.
No, you talk shit. Say it. I was about to say something.
It's the second
you go first.
time.
You're the guest. Tell him something.
We're gonna go back and you're gonna have more work. You're gonna have to edit that. So we waited 11 years. We get our documents at the right time because she got diagnosed with breast cancer in 2000, and then she started treatment and everything.
Here?
And back home. She started treatment, and then the thing is that we went to the embassy over there of the United States to, so they can approve us to come over here. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but you
say
can
whatever
tell
you want.
Oh, you say whatever you want.
My dad had to pay a doctor in Honduras under the table, right?
Yeah.
To say that my mom was healthy to come into this country. So that's how we got our documents. And then one day my mom is like, okay. She comes back lunchtime and says, we're leaving tomorrow. Leaving tomorrow? Where are we going? Are we on a vacation or what?
How old were you at that?
I was 15.
Okay.
I was 15. Okay. And then she comes back lunchtime. She says, you know what? We're leaving tomorrow. From one day to another. Wow. I'm like, where are we going? So we're going to the United States. We're, leaving. I want to leave you guys in the best place. If something were to happen to me. So grab whatever you can. Okay? In a backpack or a bag, whatever it is. Get your stuff in there. And then we're going to be in the airport tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
So, we grab a backpack and just left everything like that in our country.
So did you know that was coming, or that was just a last minute?
No, that was a last minute.
You just knew that she filed paperwork, but you didn't know, hey, you're going, let's go.
Yeah, we didn't have a set date that we were going to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was less. She went into, downtown in Honduras, and then she came back because she had received a package, but the package was one of my aunts bought the plane tickets because they wanted her to come over here so she can get treatment. So she went pick up the package, find out there were the tickets already there and ready to go for next day. So she comes back home, gets everybody together. Guys, we're leaving tomorrow. Wow. Like that, leaving tomorrow. We're like, wow. So
and
that
then
means,
where are you at with your brothers? Like what line? So you have older brothers, or are you the oldest?
So yeah, I have two older ones, and then I have a younger one.
I got you.
Yeah. So so we got our backpacks, and next day we're in the airport, and we came to the United States. We landed in Inglewood. We live in Inglewood for quite a bit. Wow. With my aunt. One of my aunts opened up her home, and they were living there. And then my mom was sick. She was getting treatment, chemos and stuff like that. We used to take her to UCLA in Torrance.
Harbor.
And she went to the treatment and everything. Unfortunately, 5 months into this country, my mom will always go to the doctor with my brother, my older brother, with my dad, or with one of my aunts, or even my cousin will go there. And that particular day, it was only my mom and I, and we go to the doctor. And I'm sitting there, and the doctor's coming in and out. And he's nervous. I can tell he's nervous, right? So he's like, I need you to translate something to your mom. And my mom is sitting across from me in the bed, and I'm sitting on the chair. And the doctor said, looking at a book, because he couldn't even look at my eyes. And he said, I need you to translate to your mom from English to Spanish that she only has 5 to 6 months to live.
Damn.
Wow.
So I'm looking at my mom.
What year is this?
This is 2001. 2001. 2001. November 2001.
And you're how old?
I was 15 years old. 15 years old.
So you had just a kind of
new to the country. New to the country.
How did you learn English?
Funny thing, I give a shout out to Mr. Rapp. Mr. Rapp was my high school teacher. So something that he put us to do, in Honduras is a third world country.
Yeah.
We're really, really poor. But my dad, it always put us through the best school. I was going to a private school, military private school in Honduras when I was a kid. And then my dad made the effort to put us in classes for English.
So I have a question for you, because I went to school in Ecuador for a year. Same thing. I went to military school, and we were well. I already knew English, but they give English classes. Did you have the same thing in the
Yeah, in the class,
They have English
in the
classes?
college, they give us. But besides that, my dad paid a private school that we would go after school
To learn English?
to go learn English.
Wow.
So when you got here, you already had
A little bit.
But
I
more
couldn't
than-
understand. Yeah, couldn't understand. But what took me to the next level, I would say, is that my teacher told me, "You really want to learn English? You start listening in TV, radio, everything English." And then I learned English with the Beatles song. So he would print it out and give it to us, and we will sing those songs. So that makes more your vocabulary a little bit more, better.
Better.
So that's how I kind of learned more. But that was the best advice he gave me. He's like, "Do you really want to speak English? You need to start changing those habits." And I believe that's when I had my first, mentor, I guess, in this country, is when he told me, if you're really serious about learning English, stop it, right? English is the language you want to learn, so start watching TV, radio, everything that you say, that you listen to, English.
That is true, because I speak Spanish. I've always spoke Spanish. I learned how to read and write Spanish when I was in the military school. I was 8 years old. However, back in 2010, when texting got real popular, my clientele is mainly Hispanic. I was forced to text and read Spanish. So now I could read a whole thing, I could write a whole thing in Spanish, but through text messages, how I learned how to read and write Spanish.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, text messages helped me.
Yeah, so going back into my story, so that happened. I tell my mom, she's like, "You don't have to tell me anything, I understand."
Yeah.
She said, and she looked at me and she said, "You only have your mom for next 5 to 6 months." So on that time, I didn't know what was going on. New country. I didn't have that many friends or stuff like that, and it was only my family. So we got back home. We gave the news to our family and stuff like that. And yes, unfortunately, 6 months later, she passed away May 5th, 2002. 42 years old, lost the battle of cancer and
What kind of cancer?
breast cancer. And that's what, in life, things are going to happen. You cannot stop them from happening. But what I was thinking at that particular moment was, my mom and my dad made the sacrifice to come to this country. I have to find something that I can do to have a better life, because that was exactly the conversation that my mom had. Was, I want to leave you guys in the United States before I'm gone, for you guys to have a better opportunity. Because if I leave you here in Honduras, I don't know what's going to happen. But if I take you guys over there, then something
You have a
good can
possibility,
happen.
yeah.
Possibility, something good is going to happen in you guys' life.
Wow.
So, I look at my life now where I'm at, and it's just crazy how that decision of someone that probably didn't have the best education in life, or my dad, the best education in life, but they did make a decision to come here with nothing and bring their kids to a country that is full of opportunities, and without even, with their own ignorance, right? Because we don't know any better. Back then, back home, they made the decision of coming here and leaving everything behind. Talking about my dad, it was like, I left my job, I left my house, I left everything that I have worked all my life for, just to come here. Why? I did it because of you guys. Because of you guys. So that happened in 2002. Fast forward, started high school. I played soccer all my life, so I love soccer. I got 2 injuries on my knees, ACLs replacement on both knees, because I didn't listen. I used to be training with Galaxy back in the Rose Bowl. When they're in the Rose Bowl, I used to be player semi-pro soccer. And, they told me, don't play in the Sunday leagues, right? Don't play in the Sunday leagues.
Listen.
I didn't listen.
Yeah.
And I was, I was this close to sign a contract with them. And unfortunately, on a Sunday final that I'm playing, I was good. I was fast. I was really quick.
You're taken out.
And one guy who tried to injure me. And sure enough, I got injured. And then because of that, my soccer career ended. Things happen for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
And my career in soccer ended right there. And, fast forward, I had to find out my way, started a job, because I was getting paid to play soccer back then. I used to make, $250, $300 in a weekend just by playing soccer. I'm 17, 18 years old,
yeah,
and the weekend playing soccer, it was good. And even my coach or the owner of the team was like, go to any soccer store. I believe it's Nike Sports. Go grab whatever shoes you need. Whatever you need, grab it, and they'll send me the bill.
Cool.
You know, heaven, right? So yeah, so that's what I did. And then I was working in the airport in LAX for Korean Cargo. And one day I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm looking at my life and it's raining. And I was like, you know what? I need to find a way that I can be a business owner. Why? Because I want the freedom of time. So I need to find a way. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I need to find a way. So what I started doing, I started hanging out with people that were older than me, business owners. So I started learning the language and stuff like that, what they go through in life and blah, blah, because it's just like books, right? Books tell you story, mistakes that people make.
Yeah.
So you don't make the same mistakes so you can get to life, you know, an advantage in life. So that's what I started doing. I hanging out with people that were older than me. I never had friends that were younger than me, right? And that's why I don't have friends. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, but both older than you,
Yeah, I
George.
know. I was like,
But you learn. You
I'm a
learn.
little
in life.
offended over here.
Hey, I say like, be me.
Yes, take a shit.
No, I mean, I love because I get to learn. You know, something that you guys will know about me is that anytime I go to a meeting, to a conversation like this, I go with an empty cup. Because I don't know what I can get from you guys. I don't know what I can get from anybody, you know, from life. Mm-hmm. So I always end up with it. So fast forward, end up being a business owner at 22, 23 years old, starting my first business, transportation. Then I meet my beautiful wife. That's in South San Long Beach. She's from Peru. Her name is Flor. Amazing woman. She's my backbone. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my wife. Mm-hmm. And she's been there with me in the battles, you know, with nothing to having everything to, you know, going to start all over again. So she's been there. And then we started our business too in auto insurance and taxes. We had 8 locations open, and everything was going well. We did taxes, insurance, you know, we travel around the world, to go to Peru, go to Honduras, everywhere we wanted to go, we just travel. And then started having kids. We have 2 kids together. We're a blended family. Then I have a previous daughter too. She's 14 years old. I have a 13-year-old, you know, from my wife. She's had a daughter actually from her previous marriage too. And then together, you know, obviously we have 4 kids now, 13, 14, 6, and 3. So my little princess is 3 years old. She's the boss of the house.
Of course,
right?
you know better.
And I know. And then,
It's like her mommy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Times 10.
Few days ago, my wife is doing the, you know, her, and she's like, I want to look at Elsa. I say, oh, you want to look like a princess? She's like, no, Daddy, Elsa is not a princess. Elsa wants to be the queen, so I'm the queen of the house too.
Dang.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
Love it.
Okay, clear, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, got it. So,
Yeah.
so that's her attitude. She's 3 years old. Okay, 3 years old. So you know, and then. So we had that offices of auto insurance, went well. You know, we started learning a lot of business and stuff like that. And my wife and I grew in the business side of it, and that's when everything took off. Then we were able to open up our second business too in 2017. We opened up some body shops, and then, you know, Whittier was the first body shop that we opened here, and everything was going great. And then life works in mysterious ways, right? Only God knows what people they put in front of you. And then we were looking into getting into financial services. My wife was wanted to look for financial services. Why? Because in our communities, in the Latino community that we serve in the Fiesta Auto Insurance world, is Latinos, you know, dominate. So we will always do taxes, and we will have those relationships with people that will come all the time to make payments or to do their taxes. They'll bring their kids, they'll bring their family to do their taxes with us. But we got tired of, you know, oh, can we leave this little box right here on your desk so people can donate money because my mom passed away, because my dad passed away, because my son passed away. So I'm like, why are we doing something like that? There has to be something that we can give our clients so we can help them with information that at least they know that exists. Why? Because my thinking is when my mom passed away, there was no money, right? So to bury my mom, we needed to get loans. My brothers had to get in debt. And then my dad asked money from friends and family to be able to bury my mom. So through the hustle. So I'm like, how many families go through the same hustle here in the United States?
99 out of 100.
Right? So most people go to those households. So we started looking into opportunities. We found different companies that we were looking at. We went to a company. Nope. We went to another company. Nope. We found PHP agency. And then that's when everything started in 2019. No, actually, I'm sorry. The end of 2018, we found this opportunity, but we were at 9-month follow-up. 9-month follow-up. So things happen in life for a reason.
When you say 9-month follow-up, what does that mean?
They follow up with us for
In
9
9
months. 9 months.
Oh, so it took them 9 months to
It
get.
took us 9 months to be even get started because we were just trying to. My wife was pregnant at the time, so we were busy with the business and stuff like that.
Maneuvering.
Tax season right now, like all my tax preparers out there right now, they're busy working 24 hours a day right now.
I love it.
7 days out of the week.
Good.
So I don't miss tax season at all.
Yeah.
Props to you guys. I don't miss it. And my wife told me there's not enough money you can pay me to go back to do taxes. I'm like, okay, maybe I respect that, right? So, we found opportunity back in 2019, July. That's when we started off. That's when we my wife was telling me for a couple of months, hey, you need to meet this couple. You need to meet this couple. He drives a Ferrari. I'm like, babe, I mean, back then I used to have, cars and stuff like that. We had a pretty good life with my wife. But I was like, you know what? Okay, I give up. Let's go meet him, right?
So your wife first.
My wife was the one who started first. And she's like, let me set it up. So we went and meet this gentleman by the name of Jose Gaitan and Marlene Gaitan at a Peruvian restaurant.
Where did
Anaheim.
You meet them first? Oh, in Anaheim.
In Anaheim.
Okay.
So
they used to be out here? Gaitan used to be
he
here?
used to be here in
Okay, I didn't
California.
know that. I thought he was straight to Houston.
No, he just left to Houston about
A year?
6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so not even been a year. So I met him at a Peruvian restaurant in Anaheim.
Is he Peruvian also?
No, he's from El DF. He's from Mexico DF, and then Marlene is from Guadalajara.
Okay.
So Marlene's background is in mortgages and in real estate, and then Jose Gaitan used to be a bill collector.
Yeah.
That's their
I knew
background.
that one.
So I meet this gentleman. He's sitting across the table. He's breaking down the business to me. But, he was talking about money. I know how to make money because I'm being a hustler for about already 11 years.
You're an entrepreneur, man.
So I know how to make money. But something that sold me with this guy is talking to me is I want to have what he has. And I was looking at him and I was like, I want to have what you have. He said, what is that? I said, the way you speak, the way you handle yourself, the way you talk to your wife. You guys are both in business. And you don't see that every single day. Couples working together. And I was like, he was cool. He was like, down to earth. He pulled up in a nice Lamborghini at the time. But he didn't talk about the Lamborghinis. He talked about the opportunity and what we can do for families. So at that moment, I was like, okay, I can work with somebody like this. Why? Because it's not about the cars. It's not about the houses. It's not about the trips. This is what we can do for families. That's what he told me. And I remember to this day, this is what we can do for families. So when he's telling me the story of what we can do for families, what do you guys think came to my mind? When I came to this country.
That's right.
You're right.
When I lost my mom. So I was like, how many people I can help with this opportunity being legit, that I'm trying to give you information, how life works and where we all gonna end up at, right? With the services. And I said, my community is underserved in this aspect. So I saw a lot of potential. So it took me back. I get started. And then 2 weeks later, I went to my first big event. I know you went to your first big event with us, right? I don't know how was the experience. We're going to be talking about that. How was your experience with that? But I get started. I'm like, okay, you know what? No brainer. Let me get started because I'm going to be helping out my community. So get licensed. October 1st, 2019, I get my first check. I made $20,583. My first check on commissions. I was like, okay, the pays really good, right? To help people. So I was like, started doing a little bit more. A little that I know that I get a gentleman reach out to me and saying, hey, seems like you're having fun in PHP. Do you want to sell your offices for Fiesta? And I said, if the price is right, everything's for sale, right? So I want this much. He said, okay, let's do it. So we closed escrow on October 31st. So we sold the offices, gone, 100%, done with that business. And
the best thing you could have ever done.
The best thing I could have ever done. Little did I know, 5 months later, pandemic would hit, right? Pandemic would hit. So it was tough for a lot of business owners. But we sold our business October 31st. And then on November, we have Thanksgiving, right? So we get together with the family. I used to live in Whittier in Franklin Hills, where this gentleman I met, we bought the house and Janine Drive, beautiful home, brand new build, 2018. Everything was new. We were the first owners. And that was my house dream, actually. And I was like excited to and I'll tell you guys a funny story about it. I don't know if I told you that, but I got the house, right? And so we got Thanksgiving spent it there because we had the house in October 2018. No, October 2018. Yeah. So September, November 2019, I'm having dinner with my family in the table, right? The next day on Friday, my dad and my stepmom, they leave. And then on Friday, my brother the next day leaves to Temecula to play a soccer tournament. My dad was a soccer coach, so all my brothers will play soccer. So he goes into Temecula to play a soccer tournament. And then I used to go trainings in Burbank for, PHP agency. And then I get a phone call that Saturday after training that I'm driving back home that I need to go to Temecula to go see something happen to my brother. So I'm like, okay, I'm driving 120 miles an hour. My wife is like, slow down. I'm like, babe, just close your eyes.
That's it.
I gotta go over there.
I'll get there.
I gotta get there as quick as possible to see what.
Your dad was with him?
No, he was by himself. Okay. He was by himself with a coach. And so I went there. So I started asking what happened. They said he was playing soccer. I guess the ball hit him in his chest. And then when the game was over, he collapsed in the field. And they took him to rush him to the hospital. Yeah. And then unfortunately, when I get there, 12 hours later, he was pronounced dead. He was transferred from one hospital to another in a helicopter. And then they unfortunately couldn't save his life. So he went into a cardio arrest, I believe is the right cardio arrest. He was 15 years old. 15 years old, passes away. He had a life insurance policy. And it was a devastating moment for our family. And then I did the claim and everything for my family, for my dad and my stepmom. They received this life insurance policy. At that moment, I saw a bigger picture of what I was trying to do for families. So I was like, you're not too young, you're not too old to be able to hear this information. It doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what nothing. You need to be at least sit down with someone across the table that can break down what this product can do for your family. So at that moment, the policy paid out. I was in a financial position that I told my dad and my stepmom, don't worry about it. I'm going to pay for the whole services. Right now, to bury someone, it costs about $35,000 to $40,000.
I was say $50,000
or $50,000. Yeah. Especially right now with the pandemic, a lot of people were passing away. So what happened? Cemetery lots went up the roof.
Yeah.
20.
Just like real estate, huh?
Just like real estate, right?
Supply and demand, right?
Supply and demand, right? So I saw a bigger opportunity with that, and then I was like, you know what? I have a story that I want to tell people about my story, so that way they can see that sometimes, in the Latino community, unfortunately, it's like, oh, you want to, why would I leave money to my wife? Or why would I leave money to anybody, right? To the Sancho syndrome. The Sancho syndrome, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, a woman, if you leave a woman set up, they don't need a man. So if you're okay with your kids calling daddy to somebody else that is going to walk in the door just because you didn't take responsibility and putting something in place for your family when you leave this world, let me tell you, your wife is going to get into a relationship not because she needs a man. She's going to need help to be able to, help grow that family, those kids, right? And then most women, they're independent, they're smart. Right now, we see a lot of corporate America. We even see it in the company right now. We have the youngest president in the industry right now. Her name is Moral. She just got presented as the new president of the company. Youngest president female in the company in PHP agency right now. So women, I have a lot of respect for them because they're hustlers too, just like us. So we don't see that often. So at that moment, like I said, the life insurance was paid out to my stepmom and my dad. And because of it, my stepmom didn't work for a whole year and a half. So money, that what I tell people, money is not going to bring your loved ones back. It's not. But it does going to give your family options. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In 2019, and then I started in the industry. I only been in the company 3 years. So my wife and I have been growing so much in the company right now in the last 3 years. We're now president counsel in the company. We got 4 promotions last year. We're the first ones to do it in a 12-month period in the company. So we're setting new standards in the company. new standards, right? But fast forward, they call me no excuses. Okay, that's how I'm known in the company with the guy with no excuses, and my wife as well. The reason why they call me no excuses is because unfortunately my dad just passed away May 10, 2022. He just passed away of prostate cancer, 68 years old, and then. He passes away. He had a life insurance policy too that got paid out as well to my stepmom, and the reason why I get called no excuses is because he passed away on Tuesday night. I do my presentations of the business on Wednesday night, so on Thursday morning he passed away at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. in the morning. I get the phone call after being in a call with Patrick, Dream Team call. 3 minutes later I get a phone call. Hey, done. I drive over there to see my dad. So on Wednesday night. Jose Gaitan, who's co-founder of the company, calls one of my brokers, says, hey, Rodolfo, you need to take over the meeting because probably Cristian is not going to be there. His dad just passed away. He said, Jose, what are you talking about? Cristian is here. And he like paused and like, what do you mean he's there? Yeah, he's there. He's here. He's ready to do the presentation. So even though he passed away, I showed up to do the presentation. Why? Because I didn't get started in this industry to sell. I didn't get started in this industry for a promotion. I didn't get started in this industry to make money. I got started in this industry because of my why. I got started because I want to help people generally. So for me showing up or not showing up, having excuses not to show up, who am I hurting? Now I'm being selfish because people need to hear my story, where I come from, so they can do something better in life.
Hold that thought. So he's saying do things that are better in life. But so I just want to get back to you a little bit. When I met Cristian, it seems like every conversation that I had with you, whether it's one every quarter, whatever it was when we first met, you always mentioned your dad.
Yep.
Every single conversation. When we talked about getting into some investments, we would talk, we had breakfast at California Grill, and you said, you know what? I need to bring my dad and my stepmom to live in Whittier, near me.
Yep.
You said, so if you see those 2 units or if you see something, just, let me know. You always, and then I would see you again, same thing. It's always, your dad. So you talk about being genuine, right? I mean, first of all, I never had a dad, right? Growing up. And so, but you having your dad, you talking about your dad, and getting to your father's death. I remember talking to you, I think the next day, and you're a very genuine person. You wouldn't even need to tell me that they call you no excuses. I already assumed that just by knowing you, right? And so hearing this, his story and how important his dad is, how important his wife is, him getting to the point where he is, where you're at right now, where you're telling us the story where your dad died, the next day you're got to get up there. Gaitan calls, who did he call?
Rodolfo.
He called Rodolfo. Cristian may not come. What are you talking about? He's here. The reason why I'm here is because he says, he's right here. His why. He's not there to make money. He's not even there to sell. You need to hear the story. And so you were saying.
Well, and here's another one. I think people need to, because I believe that has to do with a lot of mental toughness.
I agree.
Right? For you to show up, because most people would be emotional.
Yes.
And even though you're still emotional, it's your father, we understand.
Yeah.
Where did you develop that mental tough, or how did you develop that? I mean, because it takes a lot for somebody to just...
En la calle in Honduras.
No, you know what?
Yeah, en la calle in Honduras. No, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I know we're asking, and the thing is that, again, I can look back and see my life and my circumstances with my mom. So that comes from being in those shoes.
Yes,
experience of
Amen.
Life can change like this, and I don't have time to waste. So
that's right.
I already lived that with my mom, that they give her 5 to 6 months to live. So if I were to tell you right now, George, you only have 5 to 6 months to live, what will you do? Who will you reach out to? What are the things that you will be able to do? Like sometimes we take life for granted. Mm-hmm. So we don't think about, okay, I only have 5 to 6 months to live. What do I need to do? So when my dad gets diagnosed with cancer, I took him out of work and I retired him immediately. And
And you moved him in with you, didn't you? At
Yeah,
one
I
point?
moved in.
I remember. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He moved in with me.
Yeah.
So I retired him. So in life, the worst thing you can have is regret.
Amen.
Regret. So one thing I did for that I regret with my mom is that I was so young. I didn't know any better. I didn't. One of the things that will crush me every single time I would think about my mom is that I never told her I love her in person. And I never told her that thank you so much for the opportunity of bringing me to this country and to, you know, the way she took care of us. I never had the opportunity to do that. But my dad now was prepared, and I went back to his house when it was the moment. I'm talking about 3 or 4 months before he passes away. Yeah. I go to his house, and I'm sitting across from him, and I'm telling him, hey, Dad, thank you so much for everything you did. Boom, boom, boom. I love you. Thank you for everything you did. It's not going to be in vain. I'm going to make sure that people knows your last name. And that's what I told him.
And what was his response? Because I know my grandfather, he'd be like, bueno, mijo, you don't need to tell me. I know. So I'm interested to see if that's the
Like,
same
yeah.
response. Like, what's his response when you're
His
telling him
response
that,
is like,
bro?
no, he told me, he's like, you know, I you've been doing it. I believe that you will do good things in life.
Wow.
Just stay close to God. That's what he told me. Stay close to God. Respect your wife. And love your kids. Always be there for your kids, just like I was there for you guys. Wow. Even with all the things that, you know, probably I was not the best dad in the world, but all I can tell you is I did the best what it was for you guys. I was always there for you guys. So make sure you do that. That's what he told me in that conversation that we had. Wow. So we had a really good conversation with him on that time. So you know, and then going back to my mom, the first time I was put in front of an office to talk, like I told my wife, I'm going to join this business, but don't make me speak in front of people. I hate it, right? Because I was not confident, you know, I have an accent. I don't speak that much of big words and stuff like that in English, but something that my wife told me and that break me, she said, you being selfish. I'm like, what do you mean being selfish? Yes, because you don't know how many people can relate to your story. So I bet there's a bunch of stories out there that people are not telling, and they need to be told.
Yes.
They need
Amen,
to be told,
bro.
They need to be told,
yes,
right?
dude.
Yeah.
So
Tell them.
So the thing is, we are being selfish. Why? Because it's my pain, it's me. Blah, blah. I used to broke down every time I would tell my story. Just even thinking about my mom. And mind this, when I started in PHP, this is 2019. My mom passed away in 2002. Right? So we're talking about over 15 years. And still get emotional. Right? So with the first time I spoke in front of the office in Burbank, I broke down. But you know what? The more I did it, the more normal it came. My pain started going away.
Wow.
By telling my story. So
that's a great thing.
Yeah. So but again, like I said, we sometimes think about ourselves. But when I went to my first convention, 3 months after I got started in the company, I'm speaking in front of 2,500 to 3,000 people, and I'm telling my story. You know how many people approached me and said, thank you so much for sharing your story. My dad just passed away. Mom just passed away. I was about not to come to this event because my mom passed away or my dad passed away or whatever happened in life. My brother passed December 1st, 2019. We had an event in December 7th in Beverly Hills with Patrick and Million Point Bay Shop. We went, I go because of that thing. My wife told me, don't be selfish, let's go. And I went and showed up, right? So that's where you start coming from in life, and that's where everything changed, right?
So I admire this guy.
So that's when it starts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I go out there and I'm just telling my story. But I come from humble beginnings. We didn't have no money. When I was a kid, I remember we only had one pair of shoes, and it was either to go to school and to go to, you know, birthday parties. Because if you use them to play soccer in the street, guess what? You're not going to have shoes to go to school, right? So I come from that setting to appreciate something in life. So I think that's what most people now, they forget where they come from in the hustle. And now they want to be flashy, cars, this and that. But bottom line is, what are you doing for other people? What are you doing for other people? Are you giving other people the same opportunity that you have? Mm-hmm. And that's what I come from now is like, I want to help people genuinely to get them to the next level. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's PHP 2019. How often do you talk to Gaetan, and tell us just a little bit about your support? Because I'm all about support systems, who supports me, mentors, etc. Who's your mentors right now? And tell us
training you're getting,
and all that good stuff.
So my main mentor is God, obviously.
Of course,
I stay close to God, and I don't think I wouldn't been able to go through the process in life if I wasn't close to him. Second, I have Gaetan on my corner, and then also I have Patrick Bet-David, which is an amazing person. When I met Patrick Bet-David and I saw him on stage for the first time, values and principles, family-oriented guy, I was like, you know what? I see myself
values and principles,
values
baby.
And principles, man. So I was like, this is a genuine guy, and I saw his fire in his eyes.
Yeah.
When you meet Patrick, he's like genuine. He's very successful, multi-million-dollar guy, right? But he's still humble. And you don't find that. But the most important thing, the combination you don't find, hungry, humble people. You find big egos and hungry people. Mm-hmm. But humble and hungry, you don't find it every day. So that's something I found with Patrick and also with Jose Gaetan, right? So we have a bunch of mentors and a bunch of people that work in the company in PHP. So PHP, what I like about PHP is a big family. So it doesn't matter if I don't work directly with you. I can reach out to you, and you can come to my office and vice versa, right?
He's right about that,
Yeah.
So he's right about that.
So,
Oh, man, I love it.
Fairly new in the company, Patrick, busy as it is, he called me right away when my brother passed away. And he was on the phone with me for about an hour or two. This is a guy that, I just met 3 months ago. 3 months ago, just met him. And he calls me directly. And he processed the whole situation and everything. And he asked me a question. He asked me a really cool question and again, having the right people in your corner, he's like, Cristian, who do you want to be for your family right now? I know it's painful what you're going through. You lost your brother, but who do you want me to be right now on this phone call with you? And who do you want to be right now for your family? Do you want to be the guy that they can fall back into? That your family says, okay, this is the guy. They got, this is the guy that got everything, set up. Or you want to go into a mode of victimhood? It's life, brother. It happens. So it's a real talk. So at that moment, I snap out of it. Because I wanted to be there for my dad. Because I'm losing my brother, but he's losing his little kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shit. I'm being selfish, thinking about myself and not thinking about what my stepmom is going through and what my dad is going through. Who do I need to be right now? So I need to be the guy that's freaking going to go out there, resolve the problem that we have right now, look for the mortuary, look for the place that we're going to bury my brother and everything. And then later on, Cristian, you're going to have time to process the loss.
Yeah. You that are listening, hear that shit. Take a deep breath and hear that shit.
Yep.
You need it in your soul.
Yep.
I'm processing that right now. And man.
Yeah, so you have to step it up. So having the right people, is like we have different companies that do the same thing that we do in PHP.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have different companies. The problem is, do you find the people that you need in your life? Right? Do you find those people that are genuinely trying for you to get better?
Yeah.
To this day, I talk to Gaetan almost every single day.
Wow.
I'm on a calls with Patrick once a week or twice a week sometimes. I have his personal phone number. I text him, obviously, when I need to process things. This company has helped me a lot with Gaetan and Marlene. A lot of respect for them. My marriage is out because they have helped me with my marriage. Okay? Process issues. They even, keep up with a lot of my BS and drama and stuff like that. But they have never judged me. That's one of the things is they have never judged me, and they have never tell anybody else about my problems that we talk in a private setting.
Amen.
When you find that genuine, that they mean heart for you to be better in life,
You got to
Bro,
Velcro yourself to
yeah,
that
I mean,
person. Give some
That's it.
Velcro.
But what will most people would do? They'll judge you. They'll talk shit behind your back.
Always.
And they'll try to destroy you, right? So these guys are genuine. They were just trying to process my issues. Bro, like, you know, we all have problems. We all have problems on a daily basis. Always have problems. Marriage is easy. It's not easy, right?
It's a lot of work.
But the thing is that you have to figure it out is you don't have problems in your house. You have disagreements with your wife. Fights, you will have fights if you are drinking, over drinking, if you're doing drugs, and you're being unfaithful,
Womanizer. Yeah.
cheating, right? Then those are problems.
That's right.
But disagreements, because my wife is an alpha, I'm an alpha, we always gonna have disagreements. Why? Because she's gonna try to do the best she can, and I'm gonna try to do the best I can. And we all gonna clash. But we gotta fix those issues, right? So some people right now, divorce rates are high.
Oh, through the
What
roof.
you said, you didn't have a father growing up, but because of it, that doesn't mean you're not gonna be a better father for your kids. That's an excuse for me. As an excuse, saying, "Oh, I didn't have a father grow up, and that's why I'm all fucked up. And
Yeah.
I drink, and my dad used to drink,
Excuses.
and he left my mom, and whatever." That doesn't mean you have to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Just because I didn't have the financial situations that my dad didn't have the financial situation that I'm in right now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be mediocre and have the same life with my family. So my dad did this. I got to set new standards.
Yeah, no excuses.
No excuse. I got to set new standards.
Keeps getting
So,
back.
you know, that's the legacy that my dad left. Is like, whatever you want to do, just go out there and get it. Because it's for the taking right now.
Absolutely.
It's for the taking, and opportunities everywhere. So, again, like I said, we found the company, and I am, you know, grateful to the opportunity because of that. Products, you know.
Yeah. Let's talk about
products.
products.
You know,
Products.
Products
right?
are products.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna find products everywhere you go.
That's right.
Okay. But finding the genuine people that want you to win, you don't find that everywhere.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Finding the genuine people that want you to win. Very far and few between.
Well, isn't it
You
kind of
know?
like the people that want you to win more than what you want to win? Sometimes,
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? Where you of course you want to win, but
Yeah.
sometimes the people that are wanting it more for you.
Your own family is more scared of you winning than you are yourself.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Your friend and families are more scared of you taking the risk and winning than you are for yourself. And that's one of the biggest things that people sometimes will stop you.
Have you been to Roatan, by the way?
Oh, many times.
Oh, okay. I'm
Many
waiting.
times.
I'm dying to go. My buddy,
Let's go.
he's here. He just got back. They were there a couple months ago, and they
beautiful.
got a beautiful Airbnb. Like,
In the water. Yeah, I've
They're
done
cheap.
that. It's cheap.
I gotta go.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Like, you walk to the water, and I'm talking about like from here to the wall.
yeah,
And if you go into the water, coral reef everywhere. It's beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, PHP. Let's talk a little bit more about what PHP does. Like you said, products are products, right? But it's the people, the support system. Tell us about what you're doing to grow the team and what your plans are for 2023.
For 2023, our plan is to go 300% of what we did 2022.
Wow,
That is the growth that we want to have in 2023. So I said already the numbers.
I love hearing
and
businesses say
everything.
that. I can
Yeah.
barely get businesses say, Foster, I could probably only grow 20% this year. And the reason why I could really grow 40, but because they raised minimum wage and my workers' comp went up and everything else, that eats at all my margins. So I'm lucky if I'm gonna get 20 here. And you say 300? Shit.
But that's because people are being more logical than emotional.
Agree. All the time.
So we just had this conversation with Patrick in a call that I was with him on Tuesday. He was talking about being savage. Somebody that is savage is just going to get shit done. No matter what. They're going to get it done. Right? 2022, for some people, it will probably be the greatest year. For some people, it's not the greatest year. But the thing is that you just lost 12 months. So the problem is, again, having the right people. The question is, you did this much, and then the problem is that a lot of people get props and recognition for the wrong
Always the wrong thing.
friends and the wrong people that you have around you.
Yep.
Hey, bro, why are you working so hard? When we were in the insurance industry, some of our family, what do you guys want to open up more offices? You already have 5. You have a good life. We're savages. My wife and I are like savage. Either you have it or you don't. We just want to make it happen. Right? So our goal and is clear. We just opened a brand new 10,000 square foot office in Corona. We moved from Whittier to Costa Mesa. Now we open up a beautiful office in Corona. Here's you guys'
It's
house.
a beautiful office. 10,000 square feet, I think, right?
Yeah, 10,000 square feet
That's
office.
huge.
Beautiful. We had a grand opening. We had 384 people there, 307 associates there. We broke a record in the company, a new set of standards. Patrick is coming to the office too. We don't have a day yet, but he's coming into the office to visit our office because we set a new standard. So we just want to be the best we can in the industry. We want our last name to be known in the industry. Yeah. That's literally it. So growing 300%, we're gonna do it.
All right.
There's no question about it. There's no reason why we're gonna go. We're not gonna go 300% this 2023. That's our campaign. Yeah. So you gotta start a year with a campaign.
Absolutely.
What are you gonna be doing in 2023?
Yep.
People are thinking about that when there's already probably October or November of the year. Oh shoot, I didn't do this, and they start.
What do we say? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think. How did you start like with the recruit? Like, what got you from here to over there? Like, how did you build? Because you have a big network.
How'd you build your team? How'd you build your agents?
Because remember, it started here, right? It started in these areas. Now you're in the Inland Empire, right? Corona. How did you end up over there?
Well, again, you gotta go where opportunities are. Mm-hmm. Most people that come into any industry, they will complain, "Oh, it's too far. Oh, I'm not gonna drive. Oh, I'm not gonna go. Oh, this company this. Oh, this company that." The problem is we need to ask ourselves, why are we doing this? Are we going to do it? Or are we just going to change it from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity? There's different companies that do what I do. And I have them come into my office. Oh, I come from this company, and they complain about that company. What it reassures me, they're not going to complain what we're doing too. Okay, so why we went over there is because obviously Santa Ana, a great office there, but the market was different. It was kind of saturated already. So you need to go. You gotta go find opportunities elsewhere.
You know what I'm saying? Keep that thought. You gotta find opportunities elsewhere. But I just have like a question because you like Santa Ana being saturated, right? In that industry, Huntington Park saturated, Cudahy saturated. Like, is that a bad thing? Like, are they taking advantage of the neighborhoods, or I start to think that, because I see all the, I see a lot of the presentations they have over there, and it's like, and saturated,
Yeah, I mean that means that there are people there that probably did a good job, and some people that didn't do a good job, because. Like anything else, even if you go to Google right now, even McDonald's has bad reviews. Disneyland, can they make everybody happy?
No, you're right.
So,
or maybe saturated means that they already have a big base shop there.
Yeah,
right?
saturated
like
in a way that they already have built something there, and they have an office there. Or there was an office there that a lot of people know what people are doing in that market.
I got you.
So
you're gonna dominate that area.
Yeah. So you go to a new territory. And it's like from scratch, there's nobody there strong. There's big opportunities.
Yeah.
There's big opportunities. So let me learn everything here so I can go to a new territory and just smash it. But
because you relocated the family, everybody.
I relocated everything. So
sold your home.
I sold my house, changed my kids from school to school. And we just got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
We just got to do what we do, and we got to go where opportunities are. So again, we weren't planning on doing it. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, will you ever move to Corona? No, I hate it. It's too hot. Okay, no, hell no, right? But we found this lady in Victorville. We drove from Costa Mesa to Victorville for 6 months straight to help her develop something up there. 6 months, going back and forward, boom, boom, boom. She built a massive team. Then we found another gentleman in Bloomington, which is Rodolfo, 25 years in PNC business. I met him through a networking event that we went, and I started meeting all these people, and all of them are here. Rancho, Corona, Riverside, stuff like that. And they interested in what I'm doing. So I started coming out here to Corona and the area, and I started building the team there. Boom.
See,
boom,
this is
boom.
this is what I love about the story, because he gave up everything here, packed up, and go. How many people you know that would do that?
Not everybody. They're too comfortable.
A small percentage. It's a small percentage.
Some
Very
small percentage. Again, going back to being savage, either you are or you don't. You just have to go. And like I said, if people go from company to companies because they don't know what they're doing on a daily basis. That's literally it. They don't have a why, or they're chasing money, or they're chasing position or power or whatever it is, right? I'm just going because I know for a fact that my wife and I are going to make it big in this industry.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
It's simple. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. And we don't jump from company to company because
It's not what you're about.
No.
we're not,
No.
it's not what you do. So this is what the company stands for. And then you feel comfortable there, and then you're going to blow the thing up. There's a big opportunity to blow things up with everything that you got. So, there's people that will see other opportunities somewhere else. I'm glad those guys leaves. I'm glad they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what? When you have a bad apple in your house, it's going to contaminate everybody else. So the sooner they leave, the better it is for me.
That's right.
Because that happened to me in 2021. Most of the people that work with me started as soon as I find that lady in Victorville. I started working with her. Oh, you're spending too much time in Victorville. Well, she's keeping me busy. Everybody else disappeared. Now we have a massive team because of it. So sometimes we want to hang out. We want to hang with the people that we have right now. But the sooner you let go and you move forward, where you're going, and everybody else, whoever follows you, they're gonna win with you. So that's it. You just gotta be,
He talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
We met. Yeah.
Yeah.
He talked about hey, I still love these people, but my circle has got smaller before it gets bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you know what happened. Well, what we talked about last week, Christian, is that you get to a certain point in your career, or especially a venture where you're building a business, that you disconnect from people.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing. It's just you're looking for somebody different, or you're looking for a different type of network. You're just not connecting with the regular people anymore.
Exactly.
And it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
And
It's
that's
just-
what we're talking about.
It's not a bad thing because you're growing. You're growing as a person,
right.
and then you want to be part of different conversations.
Exactly.
You don't want to be caught up in BS.
That's right.
Like you said, oh, it's getting hard because of this, because of that. Problems are going to be there. Just fucking focus on where you're going. And
It's
what you're
always
doing.
hard.
It's always hard.
It's always hard.
Because
There's
if it
no-
was easy, everybody was doing
Yeah.
it. It's always hard. If it's not the government, if it's not the laws, and it's this, if it's people, it's lazy, whatever it is, it's hard everywhere.
And here's the thing is that I know sometimes people say, oh, you're lucky you have a business. We're the one with the least amount of time.
Exactly.
We really are. Business owners are the
'cause you-
least amount of time. And it never ends.
No, because
it never ends.
if you have a job, guess what? You deal with those problems 8 hours a day.
And you clock out and you're done.
And you're done. As a business owner, you walk away and you're thinking, how the heck am I going to pay payroll? How the heck am I going to pay rent in this building that I have, and I don't have enough customers?
Or how many
It's
times?
crazy.
How many times? And I could tell you, like all three of us, 11 o'clock at night in bed, thinking, shit, you can't sleep. You worry, like you said, you worry about payroll, you're worried about paying this, you're worried about that.
It's funny because sometimes I wonder, is that a good thing or a bad thing, right? Because my kid's mom used to be her biggest problem. She used to be like, do you ever turn it off? We're at an event or we're having dinner just together and you somehow start talking about businesses to other businesses that just happen to be sitting at our table. So do you ever turn it off? And I'm like,
It's hard to turn off.
I can't turn it
It
off. Bro.
really.
11 o'clock at night.
I'll
I'm
turn it
like,
off at times, but it wants to come back.
Exactly.
We could turn it off, like we went to dinner and we started talking personal, right? And then we just,
Yeah.
by default,
And
And
it's
it's
become-
and it's because what Christian said earlier, the story that he has to tell it's not about the business. Like, I'm not selling you this, but by based off of this, then this comes with it, right?
Exactly.
And that's the value. I talk in my office, value. I always value. What value are you bringing? You know what? Just by my story, or Chris, what value are you bringing, or George? Well, I feel like you need to hear about this, because then you can multiply your position by 3, 4, 5 times when I'm talking to businesses, right?
Yep.
And
so
here's
like,
the one thing I discovered, because all of us have been in business for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find a small handful of people that are very authentic and open up and tell you the truth.
Yeah,
Because you have a handful of people that are
Genuine.
genuine, and it would say everything's great all the time.
Yeah.
And we know it's not great. People don't understand. Being a true business owner, when the shit hits the fan, how many times, I know you have, I'm sure you have too, where you hit depression. Have you ever had depression?
Yeah, of course.
Building. Yeah, I hit that.
Stress.
How many times is somebody that posts, because I'll see on Facebook or Instagram, all they're doing is talk about the great times. Well, what about the bad stuff?
What about the
What
bad
about
situation?
the bad situations?
Yep.
Share that with people. The truth.
Yeah.
The truth. It's not out there a lot.
It's not out there. Everybody wants to talk about whether they're right here. Nobody goes into the down.
Yeah.
So something I learned too is that the soonest you pick yourself up from here, the better it is. Most people, they spend more time in the downs right here. And because of it, they lose momentum. And to pick up momentum again, it takes you about 90 days.
No.
You lose 90 days.
You know what I've learned when you're going down those slumps? Open up to your business associates, your business people, and all that.
Who's in your ear talking to you?
Yeah, because somebody that has more experience, somebody that's at a higher level, and you tell them what you're going through, you'll bounce back quickly.
Yep.
You'll come back because you know they went through it, and they're telling you their experience.
Your mentors.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's something that we provide in the office too, is like we have systems in place already. Again, like I said, products are products, but systems is what everybody loves. If you make it, plan it out easy for them, and it just goes, right? Products are products, but opportunity is opportunity. My story is my story. Right. And we're just trying to, work with the people that want it to win. They want to win for their families, right? Yeah. So like I said earlier, regret, that's why I don't have regrets with my dad, because I was able to retire him. How many people is like, I want to retire my mom and my dad, and you see him go to work, probably washing dishes, probably cleaning hotel rooms and stuff like that. Man, if I paint that picture in my head, hell no. Yeah. I don't want my parents to be in that position. So you gotta go extra and do what you need to do. You have to be the first one in your family to change everything up. There's always a first one.
You gotta be that first one.
You gotta be the first one. So most people is like, I want, but the will is not there. You can want $1 million.
What?
But if you're not willing to
do what it takes
to get to $1 million,
you'll never get it.
Whatever you say, it doesn't matter. I want. Instead of you saying, like I told you, we will grow 300% 2023.
Yeah.
We will do it. Why? Because I know what it's gonna take for me to go 300%. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm here sitting with you guys. I'm leaving here. I'm driving one of my guys to Victorville in Hesperia. I'm coming back because I have another appointment in Fontana. And from Fontana, I have another in Ontario. But I'm driving with my guys. I'm going to, because to be able to grow 300%, I got to bust my, you know what.
Well, you got to be a savage.
You got to be a savage. You got to get it done. So 300% is not going to come knock on my door. Well, most people expect opportunities and this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
No. You got to go out there and freaking do whatever you need to do.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I walked in his office yesterday. I went twice, right? In the morning, cool. It's like a tornado, they call me, right? I go and I stir everybody up, right? And then I walked in the second time, and I was like, where's George at? And he was down the hall. And I didn't say anything to him. I think maybe I waved at him, right? But I was telling him earlier, hey, George, I looked down the hall, and I just saw your face. And I knew something was up, so I just left. Is everything okay? And he goes, man, it was just like every deal is challenged right now, and we have to find a solution for it,
That's what we get paid for.
That's what we get paid for.
That's what you get paid for.
The value that he brings,
exactly.
Right? The solution finder this guy is.
Exactly. That's where you make the most money.
That's right.
Is when you solve problems.
That's right.
Exactly.
And most people, when they see problems, they walk away.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. When Chris told me that, the thing that clicked in my head is that not few people could read that.
Oh shit!
Because he was able to like,
yeah, I just
immediately,
looked.
because that's
I
the first
knew.
thing. When we came in here this morning, he goes, dude, I saw you yesterday. What was up with that? Like
Yeah.
he right away, and I said,
Yeah.
dude, every transaction is hard. We have to figure it out and make it work somehow.
Yep.
And yeah, and I was already towards the end of the day. It was like what, 3:00?
Yeah.
I was already like,
And I never go in there that late. If
No.
I go in the morning. All right, guys, let's do this. Boo, boo, boo. We have that talk. And I went in there in the morning, and I was like, something. Let me go in the afternoon. I felt it in the air, so I busted his nuts this morning. I was like, I'm going to tell him. But I want to, before we end this, I want to get you real quick into something that I think is important to hear. What you said earlier, you talked about how you did insurance, you guys did taxes, and you guys did it. I think you had offices, majority were minority neighborhoods, you know, and you saw the importance, and this is important for me because I see this, I'm sure you do in what you do. I see the importance of what I do in these minority neighborhoods for the businesses, right? Yeah. And you saw it for the businesses, for the people, and you had the foresight to like, man, what if I offer financial services to these types of communities? You know, we're helping them with this, we're helping them with this now. But now I see this huge opportunity. Like, people in general, finances are a problem because they don't teach us from when we're young. And that's my biggest problem I have. I tell my kids, man, I wish I could go teach in the school just one day a week, financial stuff, you know? And so it's hearing your, like, you foresight, like, man, I want to do financial services now. And that's what you do, because you do more than just life insurance, what people think. Like, you offer a wide array of products, you know, and what you offer, there's a huge benefit in these minority neighborhoods of what you offer. A ton, bro. Businesses, people, a ton. Because I see it with my own services, and you see it with your loans. You go in there. For me, I go in there and solve problems, right? But I don't speak the language, so it's still not. It's a culture thing. Like, they love me, Chris. You helped me out so much. Oh my God, I can't believe they put me in that deal that I was in. Resolve the problem, but I still lack that culture, right, in the community. You have that all. Mm-hmm. Your wife has it all. Your team has it all.
From watching Christian, what I've noticed, aside of the financial services, and I've seen him, he's helping also opening up people's mind to actually build a business as well too. Yeah. Because I've met some of the people at your office that come from W-2 wage earner, and now their mentality, the way they speak, is guided towards being a business.
It's important.
Yeah.
The W-2 mentality is it's hard to shake and hard to break. It's hard to shake. And so you saying this, the first time I heard you say this.
Yeah, because he's changing. Because when we do loans, we already know W-2 wage, self-employed. But what I've seen, Christian, is you're getting that W-2 wage earner and converting them into a business.
Absolutely. Entrepreneur. Yeah. And that's what PHP got started from. Is like Patrick said it. We want to bring back free enterprise to our communities.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Entrepreneurship. So that's what he started PHP for. Wow. To bring back, free enterprise. And that's what I saw, and I was like, okay, it's a no-brainer. Let me do this thing, right? But yeah, I mean, changing those mentalities are what we literally show up every single day.
Absolutely, every single day. Tell our small audience, but rapidly growing, because we're genuine and we tell that shit like it is. Yep. But it's important for our viewers to know, your viewers, that when do you hold events, what days, what times, talk
if
to us
they want to get a hold of you.
If they want to get a hold of you,
and also we'll put your information on the
tell us. So your office, when are your events, when can people come and just meet you guys, because that's what you're about, really.
Yeah. So our office is in Corona. We just opened a beautiful office 3 months ago. So if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, CJ Orellana.
And we'll put it on there.
Okay, you put it. Okay, okay, cool. So, and then also, my cell phone number, 424-279-2871.
Okay.
But we do trainings in my office every Wednesday night for new associates. Also, we have guests also that come and check it out every Wednesday night. at 7 o'clock at night. And then actually Saturday mornings too at 9:30 in the morning. We hold trainings as well for licensed agents. Obviously, you learn the system and everything that we have. But we do it every Wednesday and every Saturday. This Saturday, we have something that is called Faster School, that it happens once a month. That is going to happen in Anaheim this Saturday. And then we also have events throughout the year with the company, with Patrick and everything. We are having a big event, and then you don't need to be part of the company to come to an event like this. You can just come into my office also just to check it out, to see what the opportunity is all about. I'm pretty sure you'll love the environment. You'll meet people and stuff like that. So more than welcome to come. But we do a lot of trainings. We give a lot of support to our people.
Perfect.
Systems support, that's what it goes hands to hand with everything. So like I said,
Saturdays, what times?
Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then Saturdays at 9:30 in the morning.
Okay.
In the office in Corona.
And just so you know, folks, we're going to put his contact information on the footnotes. We'll give you his Instagram and his cell phone number directly. Feel free to text him, call him, if you guys are interested. And then one thing we ask from you, Christian, help us grow the show.
No, for sure.
You get your team, because we know you have a big base shop.
Yes, we have a big
follow
team.
us and
Yes, definitely we'll put it out there.
And I know you're very competitive, so if you get a lot of people to subscribe, we may just bring him back again. What do you think, Chris?
No, I want to hear his wife's story there.
Well,
there you go.
Awesome.
You have to grow. You have to help us grow 100 more followers, and then we'll bring your wife.
Yeah, and then there's a video actually on YouTube that I really recommend to find. It is how to stop being lazy.
Oh, you just sent it to me.
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Okay,
So that's a video that Patrick made
Yes, it's a
with my story.
badass video.
Exactly,
You guys
that's
will be able to hear a little bit of what he said on the stage. So
we'll
it's
make
really
sure
good too.
Tanya adds that on there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put the link on
How
there.
to
so
stop
people
being
can see it.
lazy.
Yeah.
I like that
Okay.
the name.
All right, well, Christian.
Well,
really?
one last thing. We are obviously our companies are teaming up with Christian and his wife and their team. First and foremost, like he said, anybody's welcome to his events. Just go, just go and hear these stories. So, Inland Empire, not Inland Empire. If you're near Corona, you're not Corona. But if you're in the Inland Empire, you have no excuse of not going to your events.
No. Even
None,
people
zero.
from North Hollywood, they're driving all the way to Corona.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Because of the value that we give to people.
Yeah,
the value that we give to people, and they like the environment, they like the culture, so they don't mind making the drive.
Yeah,
when you
do it.
Support and results.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're doing a big event with Christian in March. We're still trying to find out the date. We're going to be using his facility, but we're inviting all business owners, any business owners that are out there. We're going to be doing a large event, access to capital, access to financial services that they offer,
Residential
stuff. So we just don't have the date yet, but it'll be at his office in Corona, and we'll get you all that information.
Okay.
But Cristian Orellana, people helping people, building the dream, very important. Hear his testimonial, soak it in, and just find those little nuggets that you can use to help you out. So again, building the dream. Jorge, got Christian here. Thank you, everybody, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you
you
guys for having me.
It's a wrap.
Let's go. Thank you.